Hey everybody, it's George Trombley with Japanese from Zero, and we have a question that gets asked quite a bit, and I really want to kind of just address it here right away. Someone asks this on the website. They say, I bought all the textbooks and was wondering which series to start with first. Should I do them at the same time? When should I do it? Should I finish Japanese from Zero books first, then review and practice using Kana from Zero and Kanji from Zero? Thank you for your help and time. Well, first I need to explain that Japanese from Zero Book 1 teaches all of the hiragana. There's nothing that's not in this book that isn't that you would get in another book, except for maybe a few extra exercises. But this book is all you need to learn hiragana and all the grammar and the integrated workbooks also in here. That is a little bit confusing because we have books like this, Hiragana from Zero. So a lot of people end up buying Hiragana from Zero, and we've actually talked about removing it from the market, but then it'll sell really well 1 month, so we don't remove it from the market. But the goal of this book was not to make it the book to use before this book or after this book. It was just made for people that don't use our book, because a lot of books just assume you already know how to write hiragana. So we wanted to give people, hey, an easy, accessible way to learn hiragana in this format here, okay? We also have katakana from Zero, but katakana from Zero is actually integrated pretty much 100% into Japanese from Zero Book 2. You can see as I flip through it, every now and then, hiragana lessons pop up, okay? So it's in there. But then, guys, we also have Kana from Zero, which is both of the Kana books, the hiragana and katakana books, integrated into one book with a slightly extra thing in the end where we have these cards that you can cut out and print. But you do not need these books, unfortunately. So if you bought them, I apologize. But do you think if you get done with Japanese from Zero Book 1 and you feel like you need the extra practice, yeah, why not? Go ahead and do it. I mean, I don't think you'll need it. I think you'll be fine. Hiragana is not so hard. Katakana is always a little bit more tricky, because you learn hiragana and all the words that you use, all the things that you do in Japanese, use hiragana. And then there's this very limited subset of words that use katakana, like your name, the country that you're from, things like computers and keyboards and technology words, all use katakana, but it's very limiting. So a lot of times people end up not liking katakana as much. As in regards for Kanji from Zero, which is this book right here, this is a big book. Now, this is different from the Kana from Zero series in that it has unique content only available in this book, especially this one. This book doesn't exist in any of the other books. So, for example, if we look at what kanji is taught in this book, it's the kanji that's taught in Japanese from Zero 3, 4, and 5. So we've integrated kanji into books 3, 4, and 5, just like we integrated hiragana and katakana in books 1 and 2. But here, it's the same kanji, the same 240 kanji are in here, but some of the sections are different in the usage area. Now, this book right here has an additional 200 kanji, and you can look at how thick this book is. Everything in here is completely fresh. There's no other book that has it. And even if/when I make Japanese from Zero books 6, 7, and 8, which is where these kanji would go, they won't go in there because I'm not planning on doing a 6, 7, and 8 currently. But if I did, I'm not going to add kanji anymore. It's going to purely just be independent, because this book is so good on its own. So if I was going to ask you, like, what book should you do kanji from Zero after? You know what? I would say once you get to book 3, you can use book 3 to get the primer and then just go through here too, because this is a really good book. There's a lot of cool things in here, and I highly recommend it. This was at one point my most favorite book that I had written, and then it became Japanese from Zero Book 5. I'm super proud of Book 5. And then I was so proud of Book 2 for Kanji from Zero. This book is such a massive beast of information. And now with Japanese from Zero Book 1 has a revision 8. And revision 8 is very different from the current book, but I'm so proud of it. It should, I'm assuming, release this month. I have a release candidate that me and Kanako have approved. That's done. I've got to do one more thing to it, one more quickie thing, and then I'm going to upload it. So I think we're very close to a new revision. So this is the rare time where I say, hey, if you're thinking about buying book 1, maybe wait, maybe. It's probably going to be up this month. But if you think you can get through it in a month, then don't wait. All right, so we have one more question, which is of similar nature. So let's go to it. Yasashizo, Kind Elephant 55. I love these auto-generated names that we have. Says, I'm currently enjoying using your textbooks as self-study, which is the goal. The goal of these books is self-study 100%. But I would like to join a class in Sapporo. Oh, I love that you're joining a class this summer to get interaction. Most importantly, I want to continue using Japanese from zero. Could you provide some referrals to schools, teachers, or classes that are using your resources to teach? I do not know. I know of a school in Okinawa that someone mentioned at one point, and I could research that and find it. But I do know that there are schools using, I just don't know. By the way, Japanese 2.0 would be a very sad book. That would mean you start out fluent in Japanese, but as you read the book, you slowly get worse at Japanese 2 or you don't know any at all. You become 0 level. It's from, this is a very important prepositional word here to have here. But I did look up these schools here with the words Japanese from 0, and maybe if I put them in quotes, I might get better results. But I don't know if we're going to be able to do that. Here we go. Oh, hey, someone posted this. Let's see. JALS in Sapporo, a quick review. Last year, I went to Japanese language school in Sapporo, Hokkaido. The summer course had already started when I joined, and there were a lot of people. I stayed with a homestay family. Ooh, that's very nice, staying with a homestay family. Okay, looks like this isn't anything to do with Japanese from 0. Maybe the next one down. Here, let's just look for the word 0 in here. Maybe I got too excited too quick here. Let's see, is the word 0 is not even in here? Okay, well, there you go. I'm going to give you a really cool YouTube hint, by the way. If you want, not YouTube, sorry, a really good Google hint. If you search for anything, add the word Reddit after it, because Reddit is like the old internet where people would actually post things. Here you go, JLI versus JALS. They use Minna no Nihongo. I did not like that book. Yeah, definitely outdated. By the way, that's why I updated Japanese from 0 book 1. It definitely needed an update. You have to understand, when we wrote Japanese from 0 book 1, and we've had 7 revisions, but it's been mostly minor revisions, like fixing small things, changing a couple example sentences, making sure the answer key matched the actual workbook, typos and stuff like that, updating the style of the book. But we haven't really updated the main content until this next revision. But you have to understand, when we made the first book, internet was on 28.8 modems. There was no such thing as a smartphone. You couldn't do internet on your phone. There wasn't podcasts. There wasn't iTunes, iPhones, Androids, any of the things that we know about. Most people, when they called our company and asked about doing classes, which we were doing live classes, the first question I asked was, do you have access to the internet? And most people, maybe 50% would say, no, I don't. It was not really a thing. I had barely just added a 28.8 modem into my system at the time that we were writing Japanese from 0. So there was a lot of things not in there in a modern world. There wasn't like, hey, what if you get a text from your friend and it says this? None of that's covered. In the book revision for book 2, we bring a lot of that into play. This isn't out for a while, so so that's the thing. Japanese, Minna no Nihongo, the last time I saw it, I agree. Very, very outdated. And it says here, not that I like to trash other books, but I'm just reading this opinion, uses phrases that isn't how most people actually speak day to day. True. That's what I thought when I looked at it too. I actually have a copy of it here somewhere. So yeah, if you come in here and you read these things, people are going to be giving you some good information. But if you attach Reddit to any search, you're going to get much better results from people that aren't biased. I was going to check if 0 comes up. Okay, well, 0 did come up, but not Japanese from 0. I do check that a lot. Ooh, JLI is still a bad school. There's some good information. JLI. Here, let's get rid of the word. Let's just get rid of, we'll say Sapporo Japanese class Reddit. You know what? Let me say this. I don't think you need to have them use our book. You could just use whatever book they're using and go back to our book and study independently out of that book also. Because a lot of times I hear people say, look, I'm biased. You can't trust my opinion on my books at all, for the record. But I have heard people say Japanese from Zero helped me understand the other book I was using. And the same thing happened with Korean from Zero. There used to be a meetup that I went to here called the Korean Meetup at UNLV. And I gave out free copies of Korean from Zero to a lot of people. And I gave extra copies for them to give to people when they came. And then one night we were at a dinner after the meetup, and the girl that was talking to me didn't know I was the author of Korean from Zero. And she said, I said, well, what book are you using to learn Korean? And she brought up a competition book that I already knew was not, I didn't think, a great book. Definitely Design was not a great book, but I know the guy, so I didn't trash it. And I'm not going to say the name now. And then she said, yeah, this is the book, but I had a hard time understanding it until, and she pulled out another book that was very, very messed up, Korean from Zero. She had been going through it crazily, had a bunch of notes. She said, this book helped me understand this book. And that's because I think I write really decent grammar. I think I can knock down a grammar to something that you understand. So I don't think, getting back to my main point, I don't think you need to find a school that's using Japanese from Zero, because Japanese from Zero can stand on its own. I think you need to find a school that has decent teachers and has a good track record, and that probably immerses you in Japanese and not teaches in English. I really think that would be the way to go. I know that's awkward considering all of my videos I teach in English, not Japanese, but I feel like that's also a very necessary thing, to have a great explanation of a grammar point instead of me having to wade through the Japanese language as a beginner to try to figure out what they're saying. There's huge benefit though in immersive learning, 100%. That's how I learned Korean. I studied a bunch of Korean before I went to Korea, and then I took exclusive classes in a school, by the way, that used the most horrible book on earth. I don't remember I think it's from Ganada. This Korean book is so bad. I remember in class, I would take my pen and just be angry, and I would write a circle around their explanation and cross it out. And I would go through some of their example sentences. And I used to, every now and then on these live streams, where do I have that book? I would do it right now if I could find it. But I would take that book out and go to a random page and read their example sentences. And I swear to you, the example sentences do not help you. They're so advanced that you couldn't even weed out what was the grammar they were trying to teach you, when the sentence itself is something like, white Celadon vases were popular in the Joseon era, while on the other hand, red Celadon vases from the blah, blah, blah valley were popular. Like, who's going to ever say that sentence, number one? And number two, I'm so lost in Celadon vases and valleys that I don't even notice what the grammar is they're trying to teach. So find a school that knows how to teach well, and it won't matter if they're using bad books that aren't as good as the book that you currently like right now, Japanese from Zero. It doesn't have to be in a school. Because I had great teachers at Seoul Language Academy, and they had a crappy book, but I went through all the way up through level 6 over the last 10 years of me going to Korea. I hit their max level. So you can do that. Now, one thing I will say that you can do is you can go to this site called italki.com, and you can get a tutor, and you can say, hey, this is the language I want to learn, and this is the book I want to use. And you can either buy her a book so she can go through it with you, or you can pay for her to have access to FromZero.com. I would almost recommend you both go through FromZero.com, because you can both be looking at the same screen really easily. That might be a better way to go. And it's $12 a month. It's not too unreasonable. And all of the courses are on there. And there's a cool thing you can do on FromZero.com. Let me just log in and show this a bit. Okay, so if I'm on course 12, for example, or course 1, and we're doing these Q&A right here, I can change my mode to be in Romaji, to be progressive from what we teach, to be all kana, or to be kanji with furigana. And if my kanji is really good, I can do this thing where I can make my furigana visibility low, and that way I can try to understand. Even though I'm in very basic level Japanese, I can practice my kanji and say, okay, itsu, what is this one? Kae, and I hover and I can look at it. Okay. What is this one? Is this gogatsu? Getsu? Tsuki? No, it's gatsu. And I can look. And we have that through all of the courses. So if you're in, course 5, which is the highest course that we have right now, and we're sitting on a lesson that's advanced, in the book, it would all be Romaji and whatnot. And you wouldn't have any ability to change that. But here, I can go ahead and switch back to romaji, or I can switch back to progressive, or this full kanji with furigana. Okay, and that's kind of the. Oh, and my furigana right now is hidden. And we even have this beta thing where if you we have to refresh for this one to work, but it shows you the kunyomi and the onyomi. So if you're paying attention, it's kind of beta, so hopefully it's always good. But if you have an error, you can just report it and we'll fix it. But you can see that we're colorizing them based on if they're Chinese reading or Japanese reading of the kanji. So there's a bunch of cool things you can do, and there's quizzes and stuff like that you can do here. If we go back to this main lesson, I might as well just show you. We can go into kanji quiz. I haven't seen kanji quiz. Look at that. And ignore these because I'm in admin mode. Okay. How do you say kindergartner in Japanese? Kindergartner? I actually don't know. Enji. Shougakusei is elementary school student. Kodomo is child. I actually don't know this answer. It must be enji. That's my guess. Oh, thank God. I didn't know how to say kindergartner. Because kindergarten is yochien. But enji makes sense because G is normally for children. Woo! Dare ga, yachin? Yachin o haraimasu ka? My God, what is my furigana still all off? Why is my furigana not showing up here? Oh my God, that's a problem. So who pays the rent? Kerai, this is, because this is kanji, that's why. Kanji mode doesn't have furigana because it's wanting you to read it. You have to know that that's yachin, which means rent. Kerai is a slave. Tencho is the manager. Tokyo no kata, a Tokyo person. Or oya, which is the owner. Woo, we're going to go through this. Okay. Choose the one that says, my curfew is 7 p.m., so I'm going home now. So, ie no mongen wa gogo 8時 dakara. Well, that's not right because it says 7 p.m. Ie no mongen wa gogo 7 時 dakara mou kairimasu. Well, it's actually this one, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going home now. We've got mou kairimasu. Mou kairimasu. Ie no mongen wa gogo 7 時 dakara. Wait, what's different between this one and this one? I gotta think about this one. Why does this look like the same thing? Oh, that's tricky. I read that wrong. That's the wrong mon. Wow. Okay, now I want to see. Okay, it's this one. Oh my God, that was actually tricky. Good job, Konako, on making that quiz. Hon o kaku hito nan to iimasu ka? What do you call someone who writes a book? Senmonka? No, that's like a professional. Gakka is an artist. Sakka, or a moji, which means letters. It's this one, sakka. Oh my gosh, these are hard. How do you write school gate in Japanese? It's probably koumon, not gakumon, and not. It's definitely this one. And the way that you know it's this one is because there's another very similar looking one down here. That's kind of a trick you can do. You can just kind of see like the similar one. Just you can nail it. You can narrow it down to 2. Which kanji has the same onyomi reading as en? Ten, and this one, sang and shin. So it's this one. That's a really good question. Come on, can I nail this? I have never seen this quiz, by the way. This is new. Kanako made it. Kanako is our Japanese native teacher. She's all over the content creation. Doko de konsato o shimasu ka? Where do you do concerts? Yamadera, in a mountain shrine. Mountain temple. No. Daidokoro, kitchen. No. Omise, store. No. Kaijo, yes. Okay. Which kanji has the same kunyomi as mon? Kunyomi. Well, it's probably this one. Because this is ho, kata, kaku, tsuno, kado, and su, and kazu. So it's definitely that one. Okay, well, we'll get the answer at the end. Okay, well, I thought I ruled that out pretty good. Choose the correct translation for the following sentence. Chikaku no mise de nama no sakana o tabemashita. I ate some raw fish at the nearby market. That's pretty good, but it's actually store. Ate some raw fish at a nearby store. I ate some live fish. Live fish versus raw. Oh, that would be ikiteru sakana. Yeah, it's definitely raw. Okay, we're going to go with that one, guys. Woo! Doko ga ichiban shizuka desu ka? Where is the quietest place? Kisaten. Kisaten is like a coffee shop. Akiya. Okay, Akiya's that's an empty home. oshogatsu no otera, a temple in New Year's, or a factory. It's going to definitely be an empty home. Okay. Dang. So let's look at our answers and see what I got wrong. NG. Yep. Scroll down to my red one here. Just curious. But see what's great? It shows you why you got it wrong. It explains what the thing said. Kunyomi for Aida and Ma. Oh, I was thinking of the other one. Okay, with a yeah, I messed that up. I was thinking of Mondai, I think. Kado and Kado. I guess I don't know this kanji as Kado, to be honest with you. It doesn't like stick in my head as Kado. Well, I'll get that right next time. All right. So that's kind of a good explanation as why you should get from 0. But let me show you one more really cool thing. If I switch on study mode, okay, and I go back to the lesson, I can go through the same lesson twice, but now with study mode, I can do it by hiding the English. Okay. So for example, now I can guess what these words mean and get it revealed by hovering. So boro boro is like in tatters, destroyed, like a messed up item, battered, beat up, shabby. Ma, oh gosh, what is this? Mama is like average. It's kind of okay. So good, okay. Pota pota, that's the sound of water dripping. Poto poto, wait a minute. Poto poto? I'm gonna go with that same guess. Trickling down in thick drops. Okay. Tsugi tsugi means continuously or one by one. Where's my mouse? One after another. Okay. Kuta kuta. That's the sound of you being like tired. That's my guess. Exhausted, worn out. Good. Naka naka. Ooh, naka naka. How do you describe naka naka? Naka naka is like not so. It's kind of slightly difficult. Naka naka dekinai. Not so easy. By no means. Yeah, not so easily. Naka naka. Maybe I got this one wrong. Fairly. Naka naka. You know what? I normally use it with a negative. Naka naka dekinai. And that's what made me think it was not so easily. And in that case, it would mean that. Because it's naka naka dekinai, not so easily done. Okay. Wan is the sound of a dog barking. Okay. Gacha gacha is like you ever heard of gachapon? It's those games where you put coin in and you twist and you get a prize out. So gacha gacha is like a clickety clackety sound. The sound of metal clamoring. And doki doki is a heartbeat. Like a heart patter. Heart beating fast. Okay, woo! And then we can listen to them.
Boro boro. Ma ma. Poto poto. Tsugi tsugi. Kuta kuta. Naka naka. Wan wan. Gacha gacha. Doki doki.
And I think this lesson is when we do gacha something toshimasu or something like that. Oh, there's more. Okay, look, but I wanted to show you one more thing. So let's go ahead now and turn on the English side. And let's scroll down to one that I didn't just already look at. Here we go. Okay. Testing George Trombley. Closet is oshiire or kurozetto. God dang it. Well, it's also oshiire. Headphone. So what was this? These are as is borrowed words. Okay, well, these are easy then. Headphone, earphone. Let's get past these. Okay. These words are made with English, but might not be understood. Okay, unfortunately, our system breaks on this because the English, like this should have been not done like this. It should have been done like this. That's what it should have been done like. This got entered into the system weird. So now if we go back up to line, where is it? It's still not working. Well, I will get the team to work on this bug. Okay, guys, I've got the bug fixed and I reformatted the data. All right, so here we go. The Japanese is now hidden, or the English is hidden.
Notebook, personal computer.
No, I didn't mean to send that. Okay, so we've got pasokon, personal computer, right? And there'll be teacher notes that show up here eventually. They're broken right now, but they're also getting fixed, where you can click it and say, it will tell you the origin of the word. All right. Noto pasokon is just a notebook computer, a laptop computer, right? Which comes from notebook, personal computer. And then gasu. Now, gasu might seem like it's from gasoline, but it's not. It's the gas for like a stove. Okay. And then LINE. LINE, if you have any friends that are Japanese, you know that LINE is a messaging app. Okay. Very popular in Japan. And klaxon. This might be a weird one for you. It was weird for me, but it comes from the old English word klaxon, which means a horn. Okay. And sumaho, which you must know by now. Sumaho means smartphone, smartphone. That is what I recommend. You can go to italki and you can tell the teacher, hey, I want to use this material, and they will do it as long as you compensate them for the book or the website that they have to pay for. That's it, guys. See you next time. If you have questions, remember, you can submit them to fromzero.com, and I or Conical will answer them. See you later. Bye. じゃあね